E- Attempting is knowing with action, right? Attempting is knowing with action or with some type of, you can say, readable results. You can say, okay, that was something. Is what I would say most people do when they don't care. It's that, like, that when I think of attempting, but it seems like an action, right? It's knowing, right? Having a thought and then giving some type of action. But versus when you care, like, I don't know if it made, like, because it kind of does, but if you really look at attempting and caring, or, you know what I'm saying? It's like most people will do things and think that they care about it and only give multiple attempts at something that they think they're giving actual credible knowledge and action to. And yet, the only thing that they're giving. Check again, dude. Gotta make sure. And they're doing really no real thing to give comfort. Like I was saying, so I say with versus caring or something, just like with intelligence, has nothing to do with being smart or adaptive, adept, confident, or a genius. When you really start to break down, because when you see that people don't, or when you see that people have this disdain for looking at broadening their vocabulary, it seems that trying to, right, attempting to, because I know and I want to give some readable action, I want to give something, but falling short to me not really caring in the end, because there's nothing that I can really do about a person not wanting to really check in with themselves to see that they're stuck in something they inevitably want to get themselves out of, but lack the awareness and the vocabulary and most likely experiences or whatever have you to be able to do so. And so, like I say, it's weird how you'll give action and it seems like something to do, but because it's attempts at something that's not, because it's not for you. That attempt isn't something you really want for yourself, but because you don't know yourself and are even able to articulate who you are as a person, because the lack thereof vocabulary, it's very difficult for you to get yourself out of these situations and transitions or move yourself to the right ones, because you're not able to see that just because you can be adaptive doesn't mean that you have the skills within that realm that you just adapted in. Okay, you're able to put your mind in a space to where you're more comfortable, because adapt to me means it's not necessarily an action to adapt for me. It's a mental action, if you will. That's how I'll see it. It's more of, okay, well, I'm here. How do I emotionally regulate this? How do I figure this out and what I need to do? How do I need to, do I need to cut this down? And if you're stuck somewhere, then do I need to go build a fire first, or is it actually more important to go get the water first, because because I can already get the water and it'll be kicked and I got the boom and boom boom, and but if I do the fire and it gets put out and it's already burning and I only got so many sticks and stuff like that, because these are only dry ones I have, or what I'm saying, like, my mind is gonna go into this. I am well adapted in my mind. I can do this. I'm able to, okay, this is what I need to do. The issue is, like I said, you can tell yourself, like I said, because you have a conversation with the person, and you'd be like, yeah, I'm this, I'm that, and the third. And they'll be like, yeah, and really you're not. And then you go along with life as an example, and be like, yo, I'm this, that, and the third. And you're like, yeah. And then you think, you can't, you want, like, why am I stumbling on this? But I can't, I'm this, that, and the third. I'm so adaptive. Well, you'll say, I'm so adept, right? But when you attempt, because you have the knowing, and you think you have some readable actions because you do certain things, you're in this. You're like so enveloped in being adept, because you think that that's what you are, but you say adaptive, but you say, you think you're smart, but you're really just intelligent. There's a difference. You may be both, you may be whatever, but my point is saying is, like, people think that because you're able to really sit down at a desk or something like that and gather information. That's what intel is. It doesn't mean that you're able to be smart about it or apply it in whatever word you want to use to apply said intelligence. It doesn't mean that you are able to adapt to this world to use said intelligence. It doesn't, because, like, just because you're intelligent, but you don't know how to work it in this world, what is it? It's just a bunch of thoughts and information you've gathered. But if you don't know how to apply and use said skill, if you don't know how to be adept and use this, actually be able, adaptive, do to her, adept, use this actual, like, apply it, be smart about how you place it, be intelligent about what information you need and what you don't need, so you don't cloud yourself. Confidence has its own thing. Being a genius has its own thing. It's like, it's not just, it's like there's more to it, because people will clump, I feel, all of these words, like being a genius and just having these, like, epiphanies that you're able to just boom, brain blast, like some Jimmy Neutron hit shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like there's more to these words and what people cling on to, and they don't see that, like I said, broadening this understanding, like I said, attempting to do things and then actually caring about something are two totally different things. You'll attempt because you think, but not because you feel and think, not because you use that intelligence to then use your smarts or whatever thing, right? Like, you use the other adjectives and things like that to then be able to, and you use all this stuff, right? You're adaptive so you can work around it. You're adept so you can move with the skill and stuff like that. Like, I'm not sure. I don't know. I'm just saying it because I feel like when I watch certain things and I hear people say that they're this and whatever, and I'm like, that's not what, no, it's not what you are. That's not it. That's not it. That's not it. It's not it, Like I say, you can have whatever you want to call it, smarts in being confident. That has its own realm of intelligence, if you will, of ways to gather. Like I said, just because you have it doesn't mean, just because you're able to know a bunch of stuff doesn't mean that you're able to even apply what you know. It doesn't make you smart. It doesn't make you a genius. It doesn't make you any of these things just because you can do one thing or whatever the case. I feel like we're not differentiating these things enough as human beings when we try to go out in the world and overlook the small things. Like I wanted to say on another one too, is like we kind of move on from the details or the under, whatever the under is. It's like we're not really into looking into what that really means, because there's another way of going about life apparently, and the way we're in is just kind of like, I think about how the Who, or the Horton Hears a Who, where they switch the glasses. I wouldn't say I talked about this. I can't help it, dude. When they switch off the glasses to the sun, and then and it's like whatever flavor of the month is, we're down for it. Whatever the case may be, like there's no. Well, why is it switching like that? What is that? That's like making the sun go out and in like this. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they putting on the, yeah, y'all, you know what I'm saying? It's like, but what is it though? Like I say, we see the pawns moving around, but we're not checking the kings and queens and how they make their moves. But what does it mean? You know? Why? Where does it come from, and what was it made for? That's what it's made for. That's what it's made for. You are a spirit. What were you made for? Oof, 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 oof. What is it? 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 I mean, despite all the bad stuff, I kind of look at it as a game myself. Really, it's kind of fun to watch and see, because like when you start to be a little more of the owl, you know what I'm saying? When you really start to get more of the phoenix and owl vibes, you really start to like, you know what I'm saying? Open your eyes. It's kind of funny how like haha funny, or what kind of funny? It's kind of interesting. It's like, I said, despite all the like not so cool stuff, seeing it all play out is kind of interesting. Waiting for like people to see what I see, because it's very difficult to convey necessarily what I see, even though I can like say it. Like, it's one of those things where even if I say, hey, this is what it is, I could tell you what it is, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, I can tell anybody what it is. I'm sure there's a lot of people out here I watch, you know, there's a couple people I can think of off the top of my head that can tell you really what it is. But you know what I mean? What is it, you know? It's fun. But, you know, this is, you know what I mean? It's what it is. You know, piece by piece, me piecing together the pieces. The reasons, pieces. About what is it. Because some people get it, but not enough people get it. People are attempting, for sure, though. The question is, do they care?